I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, January the 24th, brought to you in part by Norfenacol by Norbrook. When only speed wins the race against BRD, Norfenacol helps you get to the bottom of BRD fast. Also exclusively offered in plastic bottles, so you don't have to worry about breaking them, especially when it's cold outside like it is now. It seems like it happens so much easier, but for more information, go to norbrook.com. Also, Unionville Livestock Market in north central Missouri and Creston Livestock Market in south central Iowa. Both of those sales having big weeks this week. Down in Unionville, they're going to be having a special calf and yearling sale on Tuesday the 28th, so check them out there. But up in Creston on Wednesday the 29th, they've got a big day. They're going to have the Rosh Performance Bull Sale, and then in conjunction with that bull sale, they're going to be having a big bred heifer and bred cow sale. They've got some really top quality consignments in there, including some dispersals. So check out both of those sales on DVAuction.com this coming week. It's demand, not supply. And all through this rally here, or the peak of the rally, I guess we've been in a rally for quite a while, but the peak of the rally we've seen here for the last several months, we keep talking about how tight the supplies are and pretending that that is the reason that we're seeing these all-time record high prices. But actually, it's demand that's been pushing everything. In fact, our fed cattle harvest has not been down all that much. So far this year, it's down a half of 1 percentage point, but not down all that much. It's the cows and bulls that's been way behind, and we've about run out of those guys. I noticed this week that your cows and bulls selling sharply higher in your sales. They're just they don't have enough of them. We've had one big cow plant shut down in Georgia, and that kind of eased the market off a little bit on them, but now they're getting really tight again after we saw so much culling there when everybody was preg testing, but now they're getting short again. We've got these best cows bringing up to and just over 140, and your bulls are back selling in the high 180s. So those are going to be getting close to all-time record highs again. But like I said, our fed cattle, fat steers and heifers, the slaughter on them really hasn't been down all that much. And beef production has been higher with the carcasses being so heavy. So we've done that, and we've still got all-time record high fat cattle market. Our box beef cutout values are near record highs. Seems like your packers have trouble pushing them any higher. Maybe they just need to ask more. It's not like it's a negotiated trade on your box beef cutouts. Just price them higher on the sheet, and eventually you'll get more for them. But then, of course, people are going to expect the fat cattle market to continue to rise if you do that. But we haven't seen any fat cattle trade in the northern plains and the Midwest yet to speak of. I mean, just hardly anything. Now, the southern plains is traded, and we saw that a trigger there as one reason that your board was up so much on Wednesday and then up again on Thursday, is we saw trade start in the southern plains at 201, which would have been steady with last week, but then we got 202 middle of the week. That's a major trigger, and when you see higher prices on fed cattle in the southern plains, it makes more effect on all the markets than say a dollar higher in the northern plains and the Midwest. But just a really gangbuster market here that we're having. And then to boot, if we didn't need any more bullishness, we saw more border rumors, and it's just been a big rumor mill because we haven't seen any news come out of the border that's been temporarily shut down due to the screwworm outbreak, which was really way down there by Central America, and it's got to be some type of a power struggle with some government officials down there on both sides of the border, or what's going on. I'm not sure, but still haven't been able to get that open. They keep saying that they need to do more inspections at Santa Teresa. Well, that's about the only place they trump or they bring enough numbers across to really make a difference. But they've had that border shut down since I think about the 22nd of November. So it's starting to make a difference now. Now you go just over into El Paso, and luckily the human turnstile has only been turning south since Trump got in, and they're sending those people back down there, and they're not bringing any more new ones across like they poured across for the 4 years that Biden was in charge there. But I don't know what's going to happen with the border yet. And now we're starting to hear that perhaps whenever they do open it, that they are going to thin down the crossings coming over. Maybe like I've heard the word or the number 500 head a day coming across. Well, that's nothing. You know, that's nothing like what we would typically see. And you know, they've really made it tough on the guys that rely on those cattle, especially in South Texas and all over the Southwest there, because they're used to running those cattle. Those guys have had to jump in to the extremely high domestic calf market to stock their wheat pastures. And so, you know, it's helped the market quite a bit, but have to feel like the border's going to be opening up soon, and it'll just be interesting to see how many they do let cross and what those cattle are like when they come across. They're likely going to be weighing 6.5 instead of 400 whenever they start coming across. It's not like they're going to be going anywhere else. But, you know, so everything's changed since Trump's got in. We don't have any clue what the agriculture department's going to be like. We don't really know much about his selection for Secretary of Agriculture. We haven't seen much about what it's going to take for her to get confirmed. But we're starting to hear more rumors about raids or possible raids trying to find illegal immigrants. And likely that's going to be happening in processing facilities. And I heard a rumor that may have happened in Texas at a beef packing plant, but I couldn't find any more information about it. So I would have thought that would have been a bigger news story if it had actually happened. But the rumors just keep swirling about what's going on everywhere. Also, tariffs. Trump didn't put them in the first day. He put them off till February. But are we going to see tariffs, especially from Canada and Mexico? Are they going to be imposed on agriculture products or just products that were manufactured over there? We don't know for sure about that either. But all these things are going to affect the market, and mostly to the continued upside. And I kind of apologize for making you guys think that this rally was over here late last week, but it just had that feel to it. And, you know, I tell you what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing, and that's what I felt. But now all of a sudden, this thing looks like it's going to go to the moon again. But it's just hard to believe the kind of prices we're seeing out there. Cattle on Feed report's going to come out on Friday here today at 2 o'clock Central. And I don't really have a feel for that one way or the other, whether it's going to be bullish or not. We'll just have to see. Your on-feed estimates for January the 1st are as expected to be 99.7, according to the average of the analyst guess. And they've got a pretty wide range in there, especially on the placements. They've got the placements for December. The average is 101.1. The range goes from 98.8 all the way to 106.8. So there's a lot more room at the top of that for it to be a little bit bearish there, but we'll just have to see. Marketings, they've got at 101.2, and they pretty much nail those every time because they get that information from USDA. But get ready, you know, if placements indeed to come out more than the same report a year ago, I think our offerings of feeder cattle are going to tighten up extremely as we go on through the rest of the winter. The market's been so good that producers has just been selling their cattle out front. We saw a lot of big sales late last week, or late last year, I mean, and that's probably why we could see heavier December placements. But so far this year, our runs have been big too. But, you know, we're hearing that a lot of sales in the Midwest are going to start going every other week because they just don't see the cattle out there. So if our feeder cattle runs do dry up, then I assume that our market will continue strong and maybe not fall out of bed. On this cattle on feed report that's coming out here on Friday, we're also going to see a quarterly report on how many heifers are on feed. So like they know, I don't know what, how correct that's going to be, but whatever it is going to be official. But we've been seeing 38 to 40% of our cattle on feed being heifers. Now, the last time that we tried to build our herd back up, which was after the all-time record highs the last time in 2014, for the next couple of years up to 2016, we were seeing heifers on feed around 31%. So we'll have to see if there's a significant change from our typical 38 to 40 that we've been seeing. And if we see that turn down big, that's likely to have more effect on the market than anything, and that could be in a bearish way. But, here on the Feeder Flash, we support cattle auctions. Our commercial feeder cattle auctions, if they go down, we've lost everything. We've just about lost our negotiated cash trade on fed cattle, and as much as I love the fat cattle auctions that we have, we just don't have enough of them. But we always, praise your cattle auctions, and every month we pick one out that we think's been doing a really good job. We've got a new sponsor for the Market of the Month. It's BuyMeTA Market of the Month, and I love this from BuyMeTA, especially as we're getting close to the NCBA convention. But BuyMeTA is no suits, just boots. And at BuyMeTA, they don't give excuses or corporate BS. None of that. Just no nonsense animal health solutions that work harder for you and for your operation. And the BuyMeTA Market of the Month this month is Hub City Livestock in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Every week we just get stick out sales from them. Been having big sales, doing such a good job for their producers there. Hub City's been a customer of DVAuction forever. Been broadcasting with DVAuction for many, many years. And just recently have they updated their clerking software. So now we're starting to get those prices coming into Cattle Market Central in an automated way, and it just makes them so much easier for me to give to you, and I've been giving them to you a lot, and they've really been doing a good job. So congratulations to Hub City Livestock, Aberdeen, South Dakota. I want to talk about a sale that's coming up here pretty quick, production sale. It's the Bell Simmental 9th annual production sale right there at the ranch in Fordville, North Dakota. They're having a bull and bred female sale. It's going to be on Monday, February the 3rd at 1:30 on DVAuction. If you can't get to the ranch there, they're going to be offering over 400 head of red and black Angus, Simmental, and F1 Baldies bred heifers. So you don't miss out on that. I mean, the quality will just be out of this world. If you can get your hands on some of them. Also, during their production sale, going to be selling 60 big, powerful yearlings, Simmental, and Sim Angus bulls. And then they've got another 30 coming 2-year-olds. So don't forget about that sale. It's a Bell Simmental sale coming up February the 3rd on Monday at 1:30 in the afternoon. Let's talk about your board for Thursday. February live cattle futures were up $1.05 at 201.10. That's getting pretty close to what the market is, at least in the Southern Plains. April up 95 cents at $200.75. Your back months on live cattle up 20 to up 80. January feeder cattle up just 2 cents at 277.02, as it's got right in line there pretty much with your index levels, which we knew it was because it's cash settled and it's getting late in the month. They've got to come together. March feeder cattle up $1 smooth at 274.07. Your back months were all up, but ranging from 10 cents to $1.15 higher. March corn up 5.5 cents a bushel on Thursday at 4.89 3/4. March beans up 9.5 at 10.65.5. Hard red winter wheat for March down 4 cents at 5.70 3/4. Your fat cattle trade And we still haven't seen, like I said earlier, much trade at all in the northern plains and in the Midwest. Iowa sold a load that was reported on Thursday. They only have sold 700 head so far for the week. The only price recorded on Thursday was 207 live. That's right in the range from the previous week. Nebraska sold less than 100 on Thursday. They've only sold 450 head so far for the week, and the only price quoted on Thursday was a dress price of $322, which is well within the range from the previous week. And Kansas sold a few more, 200 head more. They've sold 5,700 for the week at 202. Texas sold another 300. They've sold 1,700 for the week. And the 300 were all at 201. It's like they don't want any more for the cattle. I've had several guys that feed cattle in the Southern Plains feel like they could get 205 if we just stick to their guns and ask for it. But they're sure not going to get it if they don't ask. But I tell you what, the guys in the Southern Plains are finally seeing what's happened as they've given up all their leverage. But the Northern Plains and the Midwest still has the leverage, and they're asking for more money. They're getting downright greedy, and there's no telling what they're going to get, and it's going to happen here today on Friday. Be interesting to see what they get, but it's going to be good if it gets anywhere near the fat cattle auctions that they've had up in that country. It's going to be awfully good. Had another fat cattle auction on Thursday at Kelowna, Iowa, about 550 head. Fed cattle in Kelowna bring from 216 to 230, and that was $8 to $9 higher. And all of our brick and mortar fat cattle auctions this week have just been dollars and dollars higher at prices that the direct trade cannot even think about achieving, but they can try, and they can try to get close to it. Box beef cutout values were lower on Thursday. Choice cuts were down $1.06 at $330.96. Selects down 78 cents at $317.21. Your slaughter up through the first 4 days of the week, estimated cattle slaughter 486,000. That's just 2,000 less than last week and 2,000 less than the same week a year ago, but pretty commendable. Actual slaughter information come back for the week ending January the 11th. All-time record high price for average dressed steer carcass weight, 962 pounds. You remember, it hasn't been that long ago they were discounting those weighing over 9, and especially over 950, quite a bit. Now our average on dressed steers is 962. That was a 3-pound gain from the in weight from the previous report. Let's talk about what else is going on. Livestock Risk Services, that's of course Dakota Moss there and all these agents that work with him. They are your LRP specialists. And I tell you what, this market has been fun, but don't close your eyes, guys, and don't ignore the fact that we've got a lot of room underneath us on this market. And you know that we are much, much closer to the top than we are the average of these prices. So you need to be looking at some protection prices out front and see what it would cost you to do that, and get you an LRP on cattle if you've gotten turned out, or even calves that are not born. If you're wanting to do that, or maybe they're being born right now, they're worth a ton. You don't want to give that up, guys. I know they're kind of expensive, but it's a lot more expensive if they pull the market out from under us. There's no LRPs here on Friday, Cattle on Feed Friday. You know that. They've made that new rule the last time. So can't do it on Friday, but you want to be thinking about it for next week. But for more information, go to livestockriskservices.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DVAuction. Late in the day on Thursday, way after all your sales had been closed for the day, sitting at 277.44 based on an 800-pound cash auction steer. That was up another 97 cents. Significant gain there. Latest CME cash feeder cattle index sitting at 277.55. Big sale here on Friday that I want you guys to check out is Wahoo livestock sales in Wahoo, Nebraska. I know they had a pretty good sale last week, and we were impressed with that. This week, They've got their big featured consignment, the health cattle there, 1,450 head in one consignment, people. They're going to be 60% home raised. The rest of them are bought locally there in southern South Dakota auctions, but really, really nice cattle. They've got 600 head of 775 to 9 1/4 weight, long time wean, 2 rounds steers. They've got 700 head of heifers, same deal on them, weighing 6 1/4 to 775. Then another 150 head of steers and heifers, long time wean, just a little bit lighter. Then there'll be several other nice consignments there, but check them out on DVAuction.com at Wahoo Livestock Sales. Talk about your big sales on Thursday. Farmers and Ranchers Livestock in Salina, Kansas had just over 3,000 head for their auction on Thursday. Steers were $9 to $11 higher. Heifers $6 to $9 higher. My goodness, big gains on top of a huge market there. I tell you about a market way up north. Stockman's Livestock Exchange in Dickinson, North Dakota had 2,600 there. They were mostly middleweight cattle weighing from 5 to 800 pounds. And the steers sell from $3 to $10 higher. The heifers weighing from 5 to 7 were steady to $4 lower, but the 7 to 8 weight heifers were $10 higher. And where your NationalBeefWire stick-out sale of the day, check out these well-tested weights here in the middleweight cattle. 336 head of 5-weight steer calves, average 565. Weighted average price on all of them, $346.98. 545 head of 6-weight steers, average 653 at $322.89. 540 head of 7-weight steers, average 739 at $295.89. All those could be stick-out sales. Look at the heifers, and quite a few less heifers than there were steers. 195 heifers weigh 548 at $319.34. 154 heifers weigh 634 in the 6-weight category. They average $292.53, and 222 head of 7-weight heifers average $732. Weighted average price $274.17. Some individual quotes from all around. How about Woodward Livestock Auction in western Oklahoma? 76 head of steers weighed 659 at $307 in Woodward, Oklahoma there. How about way out east? Paris, Kentucky stockyards. 128 steers in Paris, they weighed 693 and bring 298. Going through the ring there in Paris, Kentucky. How about Napoleon Livestock in Napoleon, North Dakota? 51 steers weighed 811 at $287. How about one way out west? Intermountain Livestock Exchange in La Grande, Oregon sells 51 steers weighed 718 at $292 in Oregon. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Thursday in your Macrocin No BS top quote for the day, come out of Mitchell, South Dakota at Mitchell Livestock Marketing. 59 steers weighed 789 at $297.50. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.